In the quiet Igbo village of Umueku, nestled between lush green hills and a winding river, a young girl named Amaka lived with her stepmother and stepsisters. Her life was one of toil and sorrow, as her stepmother treated her like a servant while showering her own daughters with affection. Amaka's only solace was her time by the river, where she would escape to wash clothes or fetch water, finding peace in the gentle murmur of the flowing stream. One fateful afternoon, while washing a pile of clothes at the riverbank, Amaka noticed something unusual floating in the water. It was a calabash, intricately carved with designs that seemed to shimmer under the sunlight. Drawn by its beauty, she waded into the water to retrieve it. As her fingers brushed the surface, a soft but distinct voice spoke, "Do not be afraid, child. I mean you no harm." Amaka dropped the calabash in shock, her heart pounding. She stared at it, half expecting it to move on its own. The voice came again, calm and soothing. "Take me home, and I will change your life." Amaka hesitated but felt an inexplicable pull toward the object. She wrapped it in her wrapper and carried it home, hiding it in the small hut where she slept. That night, as she lay on her mat, the voice returned. "You have freed me from the river. For your kindness, I will grant you wisdom and guidance. I speak only in riddles, and if you solve them, you will prosper. But choose your questions wisely." Curious and desperate to improve her life, Amaka decided to try. "If you can hear me," she whispered, "what can I do to escape this life of misery?" The calabash hummed softly before speaking. "In a pot without a bottom, fetch water from the stream. There you will find what you seek." The riddle puzzled Amaka, but she decided to try. She crafted a crude basket and carried it to the stream, knowing it would not hold water. However, as she dipped it into the river, the basket filled with shimmering coins that did not spill. She gasped and hurried home, hiding the treasure under her mat. With this newfound wealth, Amaka began to transform her life. She used the money to buy food and clothing and even hired helpers to ease her workload. The villagers noticed her sudden change and began whispering, "Where had a poor orphan girl found such riches?" Her stepmother and stepsisters grew increasingly suspicious. They spied on her every night, trying to uncover her secret, but Amaka kept the calabash hidden and only spoke to it in whispers. Over time, the calabash continued to offer her riddles that led to fortune and wisdom. One day, she asked, "How can I make my name known in the village?" The calabash replied, "Beneath the tallest irako tree lies a treasure unseen. Unearth it, and the people will sing your name." Amaka followed the riddle and found a chest buried under the ancient irako tree near the shrine. Inside were artifacts of immense value, bronze masks, coral beads, and ivory carvings. She presented them to the village elders, who were astounded. They celebrated her discovery, and her name spread far and wide as a blessed and wise young woman. But with her rising fame came envy. Villagers began to murmur that her wealth was unnatural, that she must have struck a deal with dark forces. Her stepmother spread the rumors further, hoping to tarnish Amaka's name. One night, desperate for answers, Amaka asked the calabash her final question. "Why do the people turn against me? What truth can I reveal to silence their doubts?" The calabash's voice grew grave. "The one they trust hides the greatest lie. In the shrine where offerings are made, seek the truth that binds the village in chains." Amaka was terrified but resolved to follow the calabash's guidance. Late that night, she crept to the village shrine. As she searched, she discovered a hidden chamber beneath the altar. Inside, she found evidence that the village chief had been stealing offerings meant for the gods and hoarding them for himself. Scrolls and relics detailed his deception, and gold meant for the gods lay hidden in plain sight. At dawn, Amaka called a gathering and presented her findings to the entire village. Chaos erupted as the villagers turned on the chief, demanding justice. The chief tried to deny the accusations, but the evidence was undeniable. He was stripped of his title and banished from the village. Amaka's revelation brought her both respect and fear. The villagers marveled at her wisdom but kept their distance, afraid of the mysterious power she seemed to wield. Suitors flocked to her door, much to the envy of her stepsisters. However, Amaka kept the Calabash's powers a secret, fearing what might happen if others found out. One evening, her stepmother, consumed by curiosity, spied on Amaka and overheard her speaking to the Calabash. Shocked and envious, she devised a plan. The next day, while Amaka was away at the stream, her stepmother and stepsisters stole the Calabash from her hut. That night, they attempted to use it for themselves. The stepmother commanded, "Calabash, give me wealth beyond measure. I want gold, land, and servants to do my bidding." The Calabash responded, but its tone was cold. "Your heart is filled with greed and malice. You are unworthy of my gifts." Before they could react, the Calabash unleashed a whirlwind that tore through the hut. The stepmother and her daughter screamed as the room spun around them. When the storm subsided, they found themselves transformed, crawling on all fours as goats, their cries now bleating. When Amaka returned, she was horrified to find her stepmother and stepsisters gone and the Calabash lying broken on the ground. The voice returned, faint and sorrowful. "I warned them, but they would not listen. My time in this world is over, Amaka. Use what I gave you wisely." The Calabash fell silent, and Amaka buried its shards by the river. Despite losing her newfound family, she remained grateful for the blessings it had brought her. Over time, she used her fortune to help others in the village, becoming a beloved figure in Umueku. Amaka lived the rest of her life as a wealthy and respected woman, but she never forgot the Calabash that had changed her fate. The story of the talking Calabash became a legend in Umueku, a tale of riddles, wisdom, and the hidden truths that can unravel even the most trusted of leaders.